Good morning, y'all. Well, it's kind of a dreary, kind of a cold day today, so I thought I'd heat things up and make some pretzels. You know, not just average pretzels, but those pretzels like you get at the mall, like at Wetzel's or Annie Ann's, or Annie Ann's. You get the idea. They're soft and they're buttery. They're amazing, and yet they have no butter in them. Come on, I'll show you how to do it. Super simple. Again, you're going to save yourself a bunch of money. All right, I have a small bowl. And in this small bowl, I'm putting in 1 1/4 cup warm water. A little warmer than maybe you would put the baby in, but you get the idea. We're going to add to that just 2 teaspoons of regular old sugar. That just gets the yeast activating. Okay. There you go. Now this is going to sound like a lot, but it's not. Just trust me, I know what I'm doing. 4 teaspoons of yeast. Right into the bath water. You didn't see me do that. One, 2, 3, and 4. By now you ought to know the drill. We're going to hang back and we're going to wait for this to get foamy. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so that's doing its grooviness. So now I'm taking the bowl of my stand mixer. And in the bowl, I am adding, I'm just gonna go ahead and dump it in here, guys. This is 5 cups all-purpose flour. You don't have to get fancy. You don't have to use bread flour. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So 5 cups of flour. Now I'm going to add to that a 1/2 cup regular old sugar. Are you catching the theme here? There seems to be a theme. I make good food inexpensively and not fancy. There's not really anything frou-frou happening up in here. And nobody got no time for no frou-frou. Okay, so we've got 5 cups of flour, a 1/2 cup of sugar. We need some salt. Now, since the yeast is not in here yet, I'm just putting the salt right in. So it's about a teaspoon of salt. There's more salt coming, okay, because they're pretzels, right? And I'm going to go ahead and get my oil ready, but I'm not going to add that yet. Okay, so I'm just going to whisk, well, kind of stir it up, incorporate everything in really well. And I'm making a little well right in the center of the dough, right in the center of the flour, okay? See, there's a well in there. There really is a well in there. Oh, that it should be that easy. Okay, now my warm water and the yeast and the teaspoon of sugar that I had set aside, I'm going to put right into the well. I want to make sure I get every bit of that yeast. The environment in my kitchen today, it took a little bit longer for the yeast to get foamy because it's a little cooler in here. Just keep an eye on it. Okay. Final thing to go in here, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. And I'm just using regular old canola oil. If you do not have a stand mixer with a dough hook attachment, you can do this by hand. It's just going to take a little longer. All right. Nice and slow, easy does it. So what we're going for is for the dough to just come into a ball and clean the sides of the bowl. And then what we're going to do, once it's formed into a ball and it's going, we're going to let the machine knead it for a good 5 to 8 minutes. It's important to get that gluten going. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good. It's not in a ball yet, but it's coming together nicely, so I'm going to turn it up a notch. You guys want to see? Let me show you what it looks like. So we're just going to let it do its thing. You get the idea. Probably at this point I'm going to do some fancy schmancy editing, and I'm going to speed it up. Not here. Okay, so I can already tell that my dough is a little bit dry. I'm going to add a tablespoon of water at a time until it looks right. You'll get the hang of it. Don't worry about it. Just like that. Now let's see what it looks like in a minute. So 1 extra tablespoon of water is all I needed to add today. So we're just going to let this keep doing its thing, and we're going to let it knead and all pull together. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done with the mixing process. Okay, we're going to go whizzy whizzy bang bang right here, really fast. Okay. Now this dough is not sticky. It's a little on the stiff side actually. I'm going to remove it from the bowl. I'm just going to kind of ball it all together here. See how it's not sticking to my hands at all? Okay, just going to form it into somewhat of a ball. I have an oiled bowl right here that I'm going to put my dough in. I'm preheating my oven to 175, its lowest heat setting. I'm not going to let it go all the way up to 175. I just want the interior of the oven warm. You know, it has a bread proofing setting, but I don't like to use it. It's no bueno for me Keep it clean as you go, guys. So it's up to, it's about 125, I would guesstimate it. So I'm going to shut the oven off, and I'm going to place my dough in there. And we're going to let it rise until it's about double. It's going to take a bit because today is a little bit colder. So I'll come back to you in just a few minutes. Okay, so it's time to take the dough out of the oven. Now I went ahead and I got my kettle of water out. I don't have the heat on it yet, but this kettle, I have it half full. Okay. Now here's our pretty dough. Look at that. Okay. Here's where the fun stuff happens. Let me get the thing to make the fun stuff happen. All right, we're going to divide it in half. Loosely, guys. You don't need to whip out the scale and measure everything down to the... Just, you know how we roll in here. We're not fussy. Divide it in half again. Divide it in half again. Okay. So I'm just messing around with it, forming them into nice little balls. Okay. I just fold it under itself and just work it, manipulate it until you've got a nice little ball of dough. Set it aside. Go on to the next one. Now, I told you that these were going to be soft and buttery, and everybody who's ever had my pretzels, they swear they are slathered with butter. Nope, no butter, guys, no butter. But they taste amazing. You know, it's fun. A video or two back, I was talking about saving money by doing kind of a meat alternative type supper every once in a while. So unless you're a Rockefeller, it's kind of hard to afford meat every day, right? I feel you. This makes for a fun little, albeit not very healthy, meal. This with some cheese sauce, ugh. And wait till you see what we do with the toppings. These are so much fun to do. These really are a lot of fun. Here's another side benefit. If you suffer from arthritis, like I do, working with dough gives you a nice, easy exercise to keep your fingers limbered up. It helps me anyway. Do what works for you. Okay, so we're just forming these into balls. Now you can split these down again, but we like the big pretzels. And what we don't eat right away, you can freeze. Sure can. Or you can do what I'll probably do this week. And I'll cut them down into little pieces and serve with fondue. I know. Who would think, right? But these are really good with fondue. Okay, guys, just like when you were in Sunday school and they would give you Play-Doh to play with, start working the dough and you're going to work it into a rope. Again, very good for hands that have a little arthur. Okay, We're going to roll these out into ropes. And when I get it rolled out, I'll tell you about how long the ropes should be. Essentially, you're just making a rope that's going to make it very easy for you to twist into your pretzel shape. Now, I'm not going to get all fancy shaping the pretzels. I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to do it without getting all fancy. So work from the center and out. You see how I'm doing that? From the center and out. You're also making the dough very happy. You're making that gluten really work for it. Just a little bit of pressure with your hands. Now I almost messed up. I almost broke my rope. But it's a quick fix. If you do break it, that's okay. It'll go back together again. So it's not rocket science, okay? And you'll notice I did not flour my surface. Okay? I'm just going to, just like that. And I'm going to pinch the dough onto itself. And if it doesn't want to stick, another thing you can do is just dip your finger in a little water and rub it down. Okay. Now I'm going to begin to heat my water up. I'm going to use about half a cup of baking soda, just regular old baking soda, to about 6 cups of water. Every good pretzel needs a bath. And I'm just going to get that good and hot. Just want to make sure that they're good and sealed. But if they come apart in the oven, that's okay. Don't fret it. They're going to taste fabulous. Have your pan ready. Mine is parchment lined. You can grease it, but if you don't have to use grease, don't. And in this case, don't. Unless that's all you have, then you do you, boo. Okay, at this point, I'm going to whippy zippy you through while I do all this. Just about got them all rolled out, and then the fun starts. This is my favorite part of making pretzels. Not this. This gets a little tedious. Okay. Pinching it really well. I don't have a whole lot of faith that these are going to stay together in the oven. Just don't have a whole lot of faith there. All right. Now we're going to play with our food. Some of these are really wonky looking, but that's okay. Let's have fun with our food, shall we? Using a slotted spoon, a large one, I'm going to take each pretzel and put it in that hot water and baking soda mixture. I could actually do a couple at a time since it's a big kettle. We're just going to let those hang out in there for a few seconds. And be careful, don't do what I just did and touch the slotted spoon after it's been in the boiling water because it'll burn. We have a casualty already. Came apart. All right, now I'm going to top a couple of these. I don't know if you can see this. It's the Kinder's red jalapeno garlic. I thought that would be kind of tasty. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. .350 is the magic number for here. The recipe says to crank it up to 400. I don't see a need for that. I get it done in the same amount of time at 350. Some of these are just not wanting to stay in a pretzel shape. And finally, our last topping. Good old-fashioned kosher sauce. And poof, right into the oven they go. These are going to go in, guys, for right about 8 minutes. Keep an eye on them. I'll see you back here in about 8 minutes. Until next time, be blessed, be happy, keep looking up, say thank you.
Thank you.
Keep that attitude of gratitude, and we'll catch you on the flip. Bye.